important business in the courts a couple of days ago, and I know you posted on this, we've covered this quite extensively, but as an update, we've got quite a lot of feedback now about plans for the party.
We have indeed a fantastic response, something like 500 postings there now. I've had a lot of phone calls, I know you have, Simon, we've got everyone at the top of the party, we've had a lot of calls. The really striking thing is the way in which people are racking their brains for ideas as to where we move from here. All those incidentally, we've got someone working on collating every single idea that's appearing there, putting them all into a list. Every single one of them will go before the lawyers. Obviously there's a lot of people coming up with the same ideas, but all ideas will go before the lawyers. Some we've already got in our heads. There's some very interesting ones cropped up, things we haven't thought of, and they'll all go into the pot to be considered. But I think the most striking thing of all, pleasing them all, is the complete agreement and unity on, well, we know where we are now, we know we've got to do something to get on and survive. There's no point committing political harry-kiri, and everyone understands that, and there's this feeling that we will do what we had to do, no more than that, but this party will not be reflected from its proper path. We won't be got rid of, we will do what we have to do, and then we will move on from there, united as one party to get done what we know needs doing.
Yeah, I think that's self-evident. When I've been going through the comments myself, seen the amount of money that's been coming in, and if they want to get the BNP, they certainly aren't going to get it this way. It's a wrong way to attack a party, and it's very, very anti-British way of life. It certainly is, and that's reflected in even some of our opponents expressing a certain amount of sympathy and regret that this has come to this. But we'll see. Now, you're coming back obviously from Brussels. First real bout of action in the committee meetings yesterday and the day before. What are your first takings? What are your first makings as well of what goes on in there? Were you surprised by the amount of time you got to ask questions?
Well, just before that, going back to when we were on the forums, you were right to flag it up. A huge thank you to everyone who has donated money over the last 48 hours. This, as I said yesterday, and then to repeat it, this is an expensive business. I wouldn't say it's a crisis for the party, but it's something we've really got to pull together to get through, and in the end, money talks. It's extremely valuable, and it really is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Coming on to the European Parliament, this was, today was my first day of my other committee. As regular viewers know, I'm on the Environmental Committee as a full member, which is a voting member. I'm also on the ITRA, which is the Research and Energy Committee, as a substitute member, which means I only get to vote if someone else isn't there from sort of our non-attached block, but other than that I can still take part. So I went along to one of the sessions of that today, and a Green MP from Belgium said something which made me think, I could follow on from that. So I held my card up and was called to speak within just a couple of minutes. So that will be online reasonably soon. Strange goings on in the European Parliament. This morning, as you know, we were quite happily able to look at the BNP website from the computers in there. This afternoon we couldn't, and a block has been put on. We, as you know, put in complaints about it, but at present there is a block. So it makes it a little bit difficult, certainly for constituents wanting to find us. Anyway, what I had to say today, as with what Andrew had to say, was filmed by the Parliament and will be online shortly if it isn't already. So we, both of us, quite surprised. Frankly, we thought we might be shut out and find it very, very difficult to get speaking time. Actually, it's really pretty easy. So we'll be discussing, as you know, with the various researchers. So of course includes Simon, who's at present holding the camera. We're discussing with the researchers how we take advantage of this relative laxitude in terms of us being able to say things we want to say, need to say, and to put on record. So while no one should be fooled, there's no power involved to speak of. Although yesterday we voted down in the Environmental Committee by only 3 votes. We voted down the scheme to take €1 million of taxpayers' money to find out if the snow blowing machines they have, snow creating machines they have in some European ski resorts where there's not enough snow could be used to produce hydroelectric power. Absolutely wacky stuff. Then he voted down because of me and two of the Eurosceptic British Tories threw our weight against it. Otherwise it could have gone the other way. That's another £1 million virtually down the drain. So there's a little bit of power, but not very much. But there certainly is a voice, and I think a bit more of a voice than we thought.
Yeah, finally now, some good news in the courts today to follow on from the other court business. Do you want to tell us very quickly about that?
Yes, this arose, again, regular followers of the website will know during the election there was quite a fuss in some of the gutter rang newspapers about the idea that we were being sued, the party was being sued over an alleged breach of copyright over a photograph, and that as a result we were about to have the truth truck taken off us, and that was tricky for a few days, but we batted that off with money and lawyers. Anyway, there was a hearing on this case today. There'd been a judgment entered against me and the party, and the judgment was struck out, so that's gone on. The judge agreed the party should never have been entered into this action in the first place, owing to its legal status it can't be entered into these kind of actions, so that was got rid of completely. As a consequence of that, the man who bought it, who's a fellow called Mark Croucher, who's quite heavily associated with UKIP, comes from a socialist background, very strange character, and was working very closely with Searchlight during the election. As a result of the hearing today, he's now been hit with a court cost bill for £1,000, which isn't a huge sum, but you wouldn't want it out of your back pocket, would you? If you had that kind of money. So he's going to feel that. He's got to pay that because he shouldn't have brought the case against the British National Party in the first place. That's what the judge has said. Whether this will carry on to a further hearing, in which case I believe we'll get the whole thing thrown out and then we'll get all our costs back for the attack on me as well, or whether he'll simply sue the peace or something, that I don't know. That in the end is up to him, as opposed to his lawyers. But nevertheless, £1,000 coming into the kitty, which I'm sure as Treasurer Simon you'd be pleased with, and an example of the fact that now and again the British National Party wins in court.